Hey everybody, no fishing today. It is November 15th, and in the past 48 hours we've had a fair amount of rain. Well, fair amount is a bit of an understatement. We've had over 100 millimeters, perhaps even 200 in the last 48 hours in the Fraser Valley. And because of that, we've had flooding, we have mudslides, we have highway closures. School was closed today, so the kids had to stay home. So it's led to many challenges. I'm actually just on my way down to the river right now because I want to go down there, not to fish obviously, but to take a look, get some video footage to show exactly how high the river actually gets when we have a flood event like this. Flood events like this don't happen very often in the coastal region. It happens perhaps once every 10 years or 20 years in the fall. The last time we've had a similar event like this was in 2006. The amount of water coming down the river, the river discharge was back then was almost twice as much as what we're seeing today. But nevertheless, I still want to go see it because it should be pretty spectacular, not in a good way. And I also want to talk about how this all impacts our salmon species, which have been spawning in the river, but because there is a mortality involved on the eggs. Many of you have been asking, well, does this wipe out the entire salmon population? So let's get down there and find out. So I've just been told that part of the Chilliwack Lake Road has been washed out, unfortunately, up around Wilson Road. Not exactly sure what's going on. So I think we're gonna turn around and go to a different spot and see. This isn't really surprising. There's really quite a bit of rain coming down, but yeah. So let's I'm gonna turn around and let's go down to the lower river and we'll try to get down to the river and see. Okay, made it down to the lower river. We're between Peach and Lickman Road, and yeah, we can go and see what's going on. Holy moly! Let's go check this out. This is absolutely crazy. I'm not gonna stand too close to the river because the water level is actually pretty high up, pretty close to. We're about 2 feet away from the edge of the dike. So yeah, safety first. But yeah, look at this. That's pretty crazy. Look at the amount of debris, logs coming down, and they're going by at the velocity. Look how fast they're going by. Look at this one coming up right now. Look how big this one is. There's a tree coming down now. There, right there. So 2 weeks ago, we were fishing just on the beach over there. And now it's totally submerged. My camera's down. Okay, so the main stem is pretty high, but now we're gonna check out some of the side channels. So here we go. So this is Peach Creek. This is one of the spawning channels that was restored several years ago by the Fraser Valley Watersheds Coalition. And part of that funding comes from you guys when you participate in the steelhead fishing derby that I've talked about many times. Not bad, let's take a look. So the water is a little turbid. It's green instead of brown, but the river, the channel stays relatively stable. Yeah, you can actually see chunk salmon here. So I'm sure there's lots of fish on the bottom. You can't see them right now, but I'm sure they're pretty happy down there, just sitting in a very stable environment. And this is why these channels are so important. They're critical spawning habitat because the environment doesn't change that much, even though we have so much rain coming down. And like the main river, this doesn't change very much. So it's fantastic to see how this is working. Okay, well that was very eventful. Things is all fogging up. Well, I can't do anything about it. Well, maybe I can. Let's wipe it up a little bit and try this. We'll do our best. Yeah, so the river was very high as expected. It was almost cresting. Hopefully this rain will stop tonight. But I also wanted to check out that spawning channel just because I had a feeling that it would stayed relatively stable, and it did, which is great. And that's why we keep talking about critical salmon habitat. When you have a flood event like this, that spawning channel is your insurance policy. It keeps all the fish safe. I'm sure they're all still on the bottom. They're all having a good time. I was trying to capture one of the fish on the surface, but never got around to it. By the time I turned on my camera, it's swam away already, so camera shy. I kind of broke my viewfinder a little bit. Have to go home and fix it. That's just kind of like the nature of my work. When you're filming in conditions like this, also broke Nina's umbrella, so I'm gonna hear about it tonight.